When someone you love is caught in addiction, your heart becomes a crowded room. There can be love, fear, anger, hope, exhaustion, all living together at the same time. You can love someone deeply and still feel worn down. A quiet exhaustion that settles into the body, not the kind sleep fixes, the kind that lingers even after rest, the kind that lives in the chest, where breath shortens without you noticing, where the heart stays slightly guarded, as if it's always waiting for the next call, the next crisis, the next shift. Your shoulders may stay lifted, your jaw may tighten, your body may feel like it's always leaning forward, ready. You can set boundaries and still wake up with guilt sitting heavy in your chest. You can hold hope in one hand and disappointment in the other. You can believe in them and still feel afraid. Today, I want to sit with all of that, with the love, with the confusion. Today, I don't want to fix it. I don't want to rush you toward the strength or solutions, not to give you perfect answers, but to help you make sense of what you're carrying, to sit with that ache of wanting to help and gently remind you not to lose yourself in the process. If you've ever looked at your phone and felt your stomach drop before even opening the message, this video is for you. I don't have a tidy solution. What I do have is honesty, compassion, and language for experiences that are often invisible. Maybe you're the sibling who always shows up, the dependable one, the one people call when things fall apart. Maybe you learned early how to stay steady while everything around you felt unpredictable. Maybe you're the one who learned to stay quiet, to read the room, to not add more stress to an already fragile family. Or maybe you finally stepped back and now you carry guilt like a stone inside your body, heavy, dense. All of those experiences are real. All of them are hard. And if you're here, it means you care. And caring does not mean you have to be consumed, hardened, or sacrifice your life to prove your love. Let's name what's actually happening inside you, not to analyze it, not to judge it, but to let it be, to let it breathe. You might feel love, a pull so instinctual that it feels physical, as if your body reaches for them before your mind has a say. You might feel guilt, a tightening in the chest, even when you rest, a sense that peace must be earned, as if choosing yourself is somehow dangerous. You might feel anger, heat in the body, clenched hands, anger you were never given permission to express. You might feel relief, a brief exhale when a crisis passes, followed immediately by shame. You might even feel grief for who they were before addiction and for who you were before life began about management and survival. You might feel confusion because sometimes helping helps and sometimes it quietly causes more harm. All of this can live in you at once. There is no correct order, no clean resolution. And remember, nothing about this makes you wrong. It makes you deeply, exquisitely human. That doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're human in a very difficult situation. Addiction doesn't just affect one person, it reshapes the entire family system. When addiction enters a family, attention narrows. Everything orbits the crisis. Your needs shrink, your feelings shrink. You may be praised for being strong, for being understanding, for not needing much, while your own pain goes unseen. And you learn to sacrifice quietly. Then slowly, your body absorbs a message. My needs can wait. My needs matter less. My feelings are inconvenient. So accordingly, there can be different roles we choose to play subconsciously. You may recognize yourself in one or more of these roles. The fixer. You handle appointments, money, logistics, and emotional cleanup. You feel capable and quietly exhausted. Your body has learned vigilance, so you scan for danger. You anticipate needs before they are spoken. You jump in early, hoping to prevent collapse. You organize, manage, and rescue. And that's where your exhaustion is coming from. The protector. You learn to hold secrets in your chest to keep peace or protect the family image. You shield others from uncomfortable truth. You carry shame that doesn't belong to you. You became a strong too early, so loneliness became familiar because the secrets you carry isolate you. The boundary setter, something in you finally said enough, and then you began to say no to giving money, to late night rescues, to covering up lies, to emotional blackmail, and to being pulled into chaos that isn't yours to carry. That's when your body finally felt relief, and fear came along quietly, and then the guilt felt even heavier. as if safety required punishment. The ignored sibling. Attention flows toward the crisis, and your needs fade into the background. You learn to be strong, even as you feel unseen. You learn not to need too much. You learn to carry things alone. You learn to be easy to love. Invisibility becomes familiar, and asking for care begins to feel like too much. The distancer. You step back to protect your mental health. Safety returns, and sadness comes with it. You step back so you can breathe again. You create space just to survive. You may feel calmer now and still grieve what distance took from you. The repeater. Your nervous system learned that chaos meant connection, so familiar pain feels safer than unfamiliar peace. You repeat patterns not because you seek suffering, but because your body knows this landscape. You may recognize the same dynamics in romantic relationships later in life. You may quietly wonder why chaos feels like home, and you may move between these roles as life unfolds. Although these messages and the roles we pick in childhood are not failures, unfortunately, they stay with us. They follow us into adulthood. They hum in our muscles. They sit behind our ribs. They shape who we allow close, who we rescue, who we forgive over and over, and how long we stay with them, and how easily we abandon ourselves. For example, fixers attract people who need saving, feel drawn to chaos, believing they can repair it, even when it costs their peace. Ignored children tolerate emotional distance and may settle for less attention that they need, or stay silent when their voice wants to be heard. Boundary setters who were punished may avoid conflict later, hesitate to speak up, even when their body tells them something isn't right. You might be experiencing all of these to different extents, and surely this hurts in ways words rarely capture. And if this touches a wound or feels painful, it's not because you're too sensitive, it's because your body remembers. It's not only the emergencies, it's the anticipation, the waiting, the hyper awareness, the late night calls that shake your nervous system awake, money conversations that twist love into fear, lies you're asked to tell or silently uphold, plans you cancel, joy you postpone. Your body never truly rests. It stays braced, always alert, waiting, scanning for danger that may never come. I know it hurts. I know it's heavy and it's scary, but you can go beyond this pain, beyond these roles, and get rid of them. This isn't destiny, it's conditioning, patterns your nervous system learned to survive. And conditioning can change. The first step is noticing. When you feel the urge to rescue, pause, ask yourself, am I helping or am I repeating what I learned? Pause with your body, breathe, feel the tension in your chest, your shoulders, your stomach. Give that urge a space to speak without acting on it. Small pauses create new patterns. Over time, these micro decisions teach your body a different truth, that safety, care, and love can exist without chaos, that your presence does not depend on rescuing, that your boundaries are not rejection, but protection for your life and your heart. Notice the freedom in this pause. Even a single breath can begin to undo decades of conditioning. Even one conscious choice to step back can remind your body, I am safe, I am enough. My love does not require self-erasure. And it is important to learn that you need boundaries, to learn that boundaries are not rejection. Boundaries are regulation. Boundaries are what give us space to relax so that our bodies feel safe again. If we keep on going on autopilot, we will find chaos and pain wherever we go, because we learned chaos felt familiar and safety felt suspicious. We learned that pain was predictable and peace was unfamiliar, because we learned tension, stress, self-sacrifice, loneliness, and dissatisfaction is what feels like home, and we will recreate it wherever we go. Remember, this conditioning is not weakness, but it needs to change. It has been your survival method, yet it needs to be replaced by a new one. Your nervous system can learn again. You can allow safety. You can allow joy. You can allow your own needs to matter. You can learn a new method where your body rests. You can learn to set boundaries without being selfish. And this is healthy. Many people think boundaries should feel empowering right away. And to be honest, often they don't. Guilt lingers because you were taught that love equals sacrifice, because you fear abandonment or retaliation, because hope whispers, this time will be different, because family pressure reinforces old patterns. Guilt is a feeling, not a proof that you're doing something wrong. Boundaries are not about convincing, they are about staying with your body. So let your voice be calm, let your breath stay deep. You can use sentences like this: I love you, but I can't help you with that. Yet I can support you in finding resources. I'm not available right now. If it's an emergency, contact emergency services, please. I know you want me to help, but this pattern is hurting me, and I'm choosing something different this time. I'm still here, yet I need this boundary to stay healthy. I love you, but I can't do that. You don't owe explanations. Say less. Say it calmly. Repeat as many times as needed. Your steadiness is important. Healing doesn't arrive dramatically. It arrives in ordinary, quiet moments. One protected night of sleep, one call you don't answer, one truth you let yourself speak, one person who reminds you of your worth. These moments re-educate your nervous system. They teach safety. They teach presence. If you wish to help, step in when life is at risk, when safety is truly threatened. But step back when rescuing keeps the harm cycle going, when your body is breaking, when love becomes self-erasure. Sometimes love holds close, and yet sometimes love steps away, and both can be sacred. Change doesn't come from big declarations. It comes from small, steady choices. Protect one basic need: sleep, money, emotional space. Write down what you can control and what you can't. Start with one micro boundary and keep it. Have one person who reminds you why you set it. Seek support. Therapy or groups can change everything. These aren't dramatic acts, they are quiet commitments to yourself. Every time guilt returns, name it, check the facts, do something kind for your body, repeat your boundaries. Each time you hold it, guilt loses a little power. You are allowed to love someone and still protect your life. You are allowed to feel guilt and keep your boundary anyway. You're allowed to be tired. None of this makes you cruel. It makes you human. Tonight, choose one small promise to yourself, something gentle, something doable, and keep it. Not to prove anything, but to remind your body that you matter too. If this resonated, you're welcome to share this video or write down in the comments what a small boundary you're willing to try this week. And if you'd like to support this kind of work, you can like the video or subscribe so more conversations like this can reach the people who need them. And remember, you don't have to lose yourself to love. Real love does not ask for your disappearance. It makes room for your breath, for your limits, for your life, for your being. Till next time, take care and be kind to yourself.